Alright, hey there everybody, welcome to my channel and to this video which starts right now. Hopefully we can help you out here. Today we're going to be solving the problem of how to caulk that annoying gap between your kitchen backsplash and your kitchen counter. Whether you're doing this for the first time or you have to redo it like this one, hopefully this video can give you some ideas. By the way, I do lots of home renovation projects and product reviews, so be sure to subscribe if you are visiting for the first time and you are interested in more cool, hopefully cool videos out there trying to make your place a better space. So here's what we're dealing with. We have some failed caulking years and years after the fact. It looked like there was some paintable caulking that was put down, and there's also some silicone that was put down. Now this is an exterior wall, so some temperature variation in addition to not being an exact straight parallel. The backsplash is not parallel to the countertop cut. Ultimately led to some unique issues. So let me show you what we're going to be doing. The supply list for the job is pretty basic. We've got some cleaner, some scrapers, a utility knife, a straight razor blade, a paint scraper here, lots of different things. So I'll kind of walk you through how I went about doing this. Now, you could take the paint scraper and a screwdriver and kind of, try to scrape this caulking off if you have caulking that's already on there. And by the way, if you don't, you can fast forward to the middle part of the video where I put down the caulking. But if you have to remove stuff, hopefully we can give you some tips. The paint scraper will work to a degree. If you've got, if somebody put down some caulking that might be a paintable acrylic caulk, you might be able to paint scrape that up and it just kind of pulls up just like this, all in one go. So that might be an option for you. This particular case, we've got a layer of looks to be 100% silicone underneath that, and so and it's actually bubbling up. If you can see there, it actually is not concave, but it's convex, so it's bubbling out and up. So I want to get rid of that because it's quite unsightly, and it also creates a ledge for dirt, dust, and kitchen stuff that splatters, right? So it's clearly failing. It still has pretty good adhesion actually, but because of the temperature differentiation on the exterior wall, that constant contrast in the winter summer is creating some bubbling and some gaps. As you can see there, there's a little bit of gap between the grout line and that silicone bead. So there's that convex kind of look that I was talking about earlier, kind of a little bubble there. So we're going to be removing this 100% silicone and putting down some new stuff that I've never tried before. It's more of an upgraded caulking, so we're going to see how that works. But right now I'm just kind of assessing the situation, kind of being really careful not to scrape the backsplash tile right there, nor scrape the countertop in any obvious way. Now we've got a significant gap here. As I mentioned earlier, the countertop and the backsplash, the wall there is not parallel. So as I come toward myself, toward the camera there, the gap will actually get to be quite large, as you'll kind of see here in a minute. So I'm just kind of prodding around and seeing what I'm dealing with. And then I'm going to take my utility knife and good old-fashioned manual slicing here. You shouldn't have to cut, maybe a little bit back and forth, but it should kind of slice. Make sure your blade's nice and sharp. And I'll show you another technique here in just a minute, but this is kind of how it works. You'll do kind of a vertical slice down, and then you can very gently angle that utility blade. You don't want to hear any grinding or scraping, right? You want it to slice right through. It should be all soft. Here's that other technique. A nice look at the angle of my blade here. We're going to get kind of a bottom side approach to the first cut, and you again want to make sure you don't cut into your tile. In my case, the blade goes right underneath the tile, that last tile there, so not anything to worry about. Next, I'm going to take my blade and do kind of a vertical top down cut. You can see right here, or slice, going straight, kind of straight down. Again, I should not be hitting the top of the counter. There's a gap in between there, a small gap. If your tile was laid right, it shouldn't actually connect with the countertop, right? There should have been a gap to allow for slight movement and whatnot, shifting of your walls and house over time. So that's the way I understand it anyway. So again, using that utility knife to do a long sideways cut and then a kind of a top-down vertical cut. That should loosen up the majority of the existing caulk in there. And then you can take your paint scraper and it should kind of pull up like this. You can certainly get the hairdryer out and heat this up if you prefer. I know that's some people's preferred method. The idea is to get that caulking nice and warm, and then a paint scraper angled correctly should kind of pull that up. But we really had to cut it first with that utility knife, and because I have kind of some gaps in there, I'm going to have to wrestle it out from between the gap a little more than I would like, but this is kind of the idea. Next, you can take your utility knife, or if you have a straight edge razor, which we'll be showing you in just a minute, you can just kind of go through and get some of that up. Again, you don't want to angle it where it's cutting into your countertop at all. You want to angle it so it slides just like that, and you can kind of use that technique, that speed there that you're seeing, to kind of get up some of that stuff. It's kind of nasty work, but it doesn't take too long, to be honest. The straight edge might work a little better for you. You can see that utility tip slipping off the edge there. So here is another idea. You can get a hairdryer out or something that creates a little bit of heat and let that heat up just a little bit. And then we'll take a straight edge razor, and that kind of goes parallel, obviously. Again, be really, really careful you don't cut your countertop, but you should be able to angle it perpendicular to the backsplash there and get that a little bit warmer and kind of go through, and that stuff should lift up a lot easier. You'll notice it's a little stretchier, and it kind of beads and pulls up a little easier. It also helps lift that last layer of residue, or some of those last layers of residues. And it'll take several passes to get that up, because again, you don't want to dig in too hard. Next, we're going to take that straight edge and we're going to break that seal from the existing caulking that was adhered to the tile backsplash, and just kind of getting that right angle. Again, you don't want to hear any digging, you'll feel it when you hit the tile. You'll definitely know that there's some abrasion and some crunch sound, right? So just be really careful. You want it to be nice and smooth, and it should lift right off. And we'll do several passes here. You can see it beating up and collecting on the tip of the blade as we go. So that tells me it is indeed working. There we go. Another shot for you. And of course, you could run your blade. I mentioned perpendicular earlier. I obviously meant parallel. This would be a perpendicular cut there going into, there's a parallel slide, but you could also turn it and go perpendicular toward, if you were, fearful of that blade running too much into your countertop, if that makes sense, too wide on your countertops. There's another look at it. You could do a series of that. That way, if you slice into your countertop accidentally this way, you're going to be putting down some new caulking that would cover it. At least in my case, that's what my situation is, since I have quite a big of a gap there that needs to be covered. So here's another shot of that perpendicular technique, trying to get that residue off. To do this whole removal, it probably took me, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. But definitely this is part of the prep. If you are going to be laying new caulking and removing old stuff, you have to prep it first, right? You want to make sure you do a really good job on this part to make sure everything is off of there. You don't want your new caulking adhering to any particles. And so anyway, when we're done with the razor blade part, you can see things are pretty clean there. I'm going to take a soft bristled brush, and I'm just going to pass back and forth several times to try to break up any of those loose things. And then you could see my vacuum cleaner here getting everything up. There's another look at that brush, making sure I get the tile directly and the gap and the countertop. And that's really going to, again, help to loosen up any hanging particle matter or old caulking that's kind of hanging on there. And then we're going to take some degreaser. I will put links all down below if you're interested in what kind of stuff I'm using here. But this is a degreaser, and it's going to help lift up any type of not only the residue from the caulking, but any type of food particle or grease, because it is, of course, a kitchen backsplash that has maybe managed to find itself in here. And I'm going to dry that out really well. You could also consider using a alcohol-based glass cleaner, depending on your countertop. But of course, read your packaging really well to make sure that the chemicals that you use don't, negatively affect your countertop or your backsplash. As far as which caulking to use, and that's what we're going to start talking about real quickly now. We've got a couple of selections, some acrylic paint, paintable stuff, and then some 100% silicone for doors and windows. And then we've got stuff specifically for bathroom and kitchen. And I really recommend this stuff. Again, I've never used it before, but as you'll see, working with it is a little different than your kind of watery based latex acrylic based caulking, and it's not as sticky as your 100% silicone. And your 100% silicone might work for you. You're going to have to read the back of it really well. And obviously your coloring choice. I'm going to go with a brilliant white here because our backsplash is white. And again, a translucent or a clear is going to show that unsightly gap that unfortunately I had to deal with this. But you can't really, get past that gap. You couldn't lay the tile down any further because the gap on the right side of the screen is much narrower and won't allow for tile to go down there. So anyway, this is what we're dealing with. So I'm going to do a brilliant white. Now I'm going to put this stuff on quite liberally, and I'm not going to care too much about what it looks like. And I'm going to show you a little technique here that hopefully can help you. When you put this stuff on, it's really gooey. Not as sticky, but it's harder to work with, and I can't really explain it in a video. You really have to feel this stuff, but it's different than the acrylic and it's different than the 100% silicone. And it hardens, it sets a little faster. So what I'm going to do here is just get my finger. I'm going to do several passes with my finger. And the key that I found is to treat this stuff kind of like grout. If you've ever grouted before, you're going to get a wet paper towel, and after it's set for just about 5 minutes, you're going to take a very wet paper towel, not soaked, right? You don't want it dripping all over, but you definitely don't want it to be damp. You want it to be, wet. And look what I'm doing here. You'll see throughout the rest of the video, or much of the rest of the video, I'll be doing several passes like this, and I'm going to basically be smooth. My goal is to cover up all those holes and cracks, right? So my first laying of this caulk that's the goal, to cover up the gaps. I don't care too much what it looks like. Of course, I want it to be smooth, and I don't want it to encroach onto the countertop too much. You can see I'm going to be kind of doing some cleanup work here, and look how fast it's hardened already. But that wet paper towel, several passes, check out the technique here. You're actually going to be smoothing it out to kind of a professional finish. Here's another look. It's sloppily put on there. Look at how terrible that is. But with a wet paper towel, several passes like this, you're going to smooth out that line. It's going to fill in all of those gaps. Look at that. And then, of course, we're going to do another pass after it's hardened a little bit. Make sure that paper towel is nice and wet, and we're going to lift up the stuff that's the excess stuff on the countertop. So here's just a different shot here for you of what that kind of looks like, that technique. Now, I don't recommend this approach if you're using an acrylic paintable caulking. You could just use that you could just use your finger instead and just kind of smooth it out in one pass with your finger pretty well. And then, do 2 or 3 layers of caulking after each has dried, and that you can call it good. But this caulking, you definitely want to use a wet paper towel. So I'm gonna let that dry. Again, the goal is to kind of get most of the holes filled at this point and the gaps filled. And I don't care too much about. Of course, I want to feather it out with the grout. Now, you might not prefer this. I like the kind of white feathering into the stainless steel grout color. I don't need a hard stop there. I kind of appreciate the feathering of the fading of the color, if that makes sense. So with the paper towel, I can feather that out so it transitions from white to that stainless steel grout color, like that. Okay, so I'm going to do basically this. I'm going to let my caulking gun here, I'm going to wipe it off and then let the caulking dry. Of course, I'll cover this up so I don't have to deal with, digging that out later. And I can let my hairdryer kind of softly blow on it to encourage the speed, to accelerate the drying a little bit. Not too hot, of course, just you want to create some airflow. Now that it's dried, I'm going to go and lay another bead, another layer of caulking, basically at the same way that I did before. I'm going to put it on a little bit liberally. I don't care what it looks like going on too much. You can see there's still some gaps there, especially right there. That was a huge gap that I had to fill. So I'm going to lay that on, take my finger. The first pass, I'm just going to work it in, make sure those... Look at that technique a little bit. Make sure I don't have any glaring, holes still. Put a little bit more on there if needed. And then I'll kind of let that dry a little bit and then come at it again with my wet paper towel. And you might want to consider using gloves if you're doing this. I don't know how good this is to get onto your skin, but my approach is I'd like to have that control, and then I go and wash my finger off if you're worried about that at all. All right, so wet paper towel time. You could wait a little bit before you do this. I'm going to do it pretty quickly. This is fast drying, fast setting stuff. And check out the technique again. Very lightly. You don't want to dig it all up. And it does sit pretty well once you put it in there. Like I said, it holds firm. So we're really focusing on getting a smooth finish and trying to lift up the excess from the tile and the countertop. Okay. There's another look at the other side that I'm doing here. There's the finger pass, so to speak. Nice and messy and goopy. Don't worry about it. And you can certainly practice a little bit before you, if you've never done this before, because it does kind of freak you out. You're kind of like, especially laying it the first time before the paper towel, you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to clean this up? This is a hot mess. It's literally all over the countertop. It's on your finger. It's not an encouraging feeling, right? But never fear. The wet paper towel will save the day. So here we are doing it again. And I'm going to speed this video up because I respect your time here. Nothing like a way too long of a video for doing this kind of stuff. So check out the technique again. This is my third bead of caulking. And this final one, I'll be focusing really on that nice transition. I want to make sure that everything is smooth, that my feathering is good into the stainless steel colored grout, and that I don't have any excess caulking encroaching on the countertop. Now you could lay some tape on that countertop in a nice straight line if you would prefer to not have to deal with that, but I want the full control, and I felt like I could get a pretty straight line doing this without the tape. But you could certainly put down some painter's tape to your countertop. I don't recommend that on your grout or on your backsplash because it's going to be hard to get into the grout. But that's kind of it. Overall, it's a nice new seal and pretty simple. And hopefully this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more do-it-yourself projects. I try to put out videos about every week or so, so be sure to subscribe if you're interested. Thanks a lot.